Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your brother, Jay International, tapping back in once again. Now, I've been doing live IRL videos a lot, and I haven't really been tapping in with the pre-recorded videos, but I figured, now it's time to do one because I haven't done one in a while. But first, before I start, what I want to say is all my videos are unscripted, and you get it almost, you get it like in the live. Because you may have videos that are scripted, that are edited, you know what I'm saying? And for the most part, when you see this video, it won't be a lot of editing. I'm giving it to you just like this, right? So, why do I say that? What I want to say is this. The problem with this world, and why a lot of people don't understand me or people like me, is because the problem with this world is that everybody is afraid to be themselves. I think that was said in Scarface. I think in Scarface, Tony Montana, when he was in a restaurant scene, he was kind of alluding to that. The problem with this world is everybody is afraid to be themselves. Everybody's trying to fit into some type of character so that they can be accepted by the general world, right? And when you have people like the character Tony Montana, or have people like myself that aren't afraid to be themselves and it does not care about being accepted. Like, I don't give a damn, the way that my interactions are throughout the day. A lot of people don't understand how I move, and they may say, "Oh, what's wrong with this guy?" Like, I'm going to be authentic, regardless, and I don't care what you think about me or what they may say behind me, my back. I don't care. That's the problem. Guess what? You'll just be another person that came and existed. Hopefully, I'll be a person that came, left their mark, and then we all go to that ultimate destination, which is, we already know what the ending destination is, right? So anyway, I just want to say that, But let me get into what the topic of this video is. The topic of this video is my stance on immigration. Where I have always stood on immigration and dealing with it on a personal level. So getting right to it. My stance on immigration is this. I've always felt this way in terms of this issue. The individuals that came to this country by sneaking in, however they snuck in, whether they, flew in, I don't know how you do that, or took a boat in, or crawled, crawled under the ground in through tunnels, or just hopped the fence, whatever. Like, I always felt that a majority of those individuals, if you came in that way, majority of those individuals were coming here to take advantage of the social programs that this country offers, right? That's why they're coming. The social programs that the United States offer. And I always felt that I'm against that. I'm against that. I don't agree with that because I don't think that taxpayers should have to pay for these individuals, especially they're fleeing countries, but there's no wars in those countries. There's no real wars. There's no real, like, big threats or anything that caused them to leave. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand Ukraine and the Palestinians, like those individuals, yes, I can understand it, right? But for these individuals, they were merely coming here for economic reasons. They wanted to take advantage of the social programs that the United States offers pretty much to anybody. I don't know if that's the case now with Trump in office, but when Biden was in office, these programs that were being offered to them at the expense of us. Now, a majority of these individuals will come into this country and they will have these anti-black sentiments. They will have these anti-black sentiments already coming into this country. They would, they come in this country, they undermine us. They don't, they don't want to come together with us or try to come together with us, and I'm speaking particular in Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. But they want to do things to undermine us. They come with these anti-black sentiments, and then not only that, they're put in our areas, and then they bring crime to those areas, right? Because in their country they had a culture of criminality. So when I looked at when the issue of immigration came up, I always felt that those groups that come to undermine us, those groups that come to take advantage of the programs, the social programs that us taxpayers have to pay for, and then they bring the criminality aspect to it, I never was in agreement with those type of individuals coming to this country. I was never in agreement with it. I always felt the same way towards these individuals, that they should, okay, what are you doing, bro? God. I always felt the same way towards these individuals. No, get them out of here. Get those individuals out of here. We don't need them here. I always felt that way. Now, I guess the problem is with the whole immigration thing, right? Until they take care of Americans, until they take care of this homeless problem that is happening here in America, until that is taken care of, until that is taken care of, they should not be concerned about bringing nobody over here until that's taken care of. Until we fix our homeless problem, until Black Americans are given what they deserve, what they're owed by this country, which is reparations, until all our problems are taken care of, they should not bring anybody over here. They should prioritize the problems that we have here first and foremost, and then maybe worry about bringing individuals here from other countries that are here to contribute. Don't tell me this whole thing, well, this particular group of immigrants, they doing the jobs that Black Americans don't want to do. Well, I'm gonna speak from first-hand experience. I was doing Uber. I was doing DoorDash. So, and during the time when I was doing it, there wasn't this large influx of immigrants. And I was loving it. I was loving it. I was loving the freedom. I was loving what I was making. I was loving it. I had no problem with it. So that's a farce. that's a farce. To say that we don't want to do those types of jobs, I had no problem doing those type of jobs when I was making at a minimum $200 a day, on, just a minimum day, but on those good days, seeing $400, $500 a day. I had no problem doing those jobs. I actually preferred those jobs over what I'm doing right now. Why? Because that job offered freedom, and it offered the ability to work when you wanted to work, and for however long you wanted to work, you could do it. So I had no problem doing those jobs. Now, maybe picking tomatoes and stuff and things like that, I don't want to do. And I think most Americans don't want to do those type of jobs. So I can agree. But as far as doing the gig economy, I loved it. But what happened? They opened up the floodgates. And they allowed all these low-skilled individuals into the country. And what else job could they do? It's not like they allowed a bunch of doctors and engineers and scientists into this country. They allowed individuals into this country that couldn't speak English, that had very little education, and practically the only thing they can do was, find a way to get a car or motorcycle, if you were in the Bay Area, and do gig work. That's it. And so I recall when that happened, when they opened up the floodgates during the Biden administration, and all of a sudden I went from deliveries like this, when I was doing DoorDash, like the deliveries was just coming, bow, 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 to all of a sudden sitting for hours for one delivery. Because why? The market was saturated with all these individuals from these countries that were taking advantage. And I talked to, I'm like, they couldn't even speak English, but I speak. So in the Bay Area, San Francisco to be exact, I speak Portuguese. So I was able to stop one of them, and I asked them. I said, "Hey, how's it going?" And it was a female. She was like, "Oh, I don't speak English." I said, "Oh, what do you speak?" "Portuguese." I said, "Oh, você fala português?" And then, so I started to talk with her, and basically what she said was like, "Yeah, she's here on a 6 months tourist visa, doing DoorDash, doing Uber Eats, getting her money, and then going back, because that's all they give them, 6 months." I said, "Damn." And so I could only imagine it was a lot of them doing that. And so that's why the market, it just dried up, and I went to doing like 200 minimum days to $80 after 10 hours of sitting, And so yeah, I mean that was a farce. Like, oh, they're taking the jobs that we don't want to do. No, they may take some jobs that we don't want to do, but there are jobs that we want to do that they are saturating, that Americans were depending on, especially with the high cost of living, to make some extra income. So that's the reality. That's how I feel about immigration as an American-born citizen. Family been here since antebellum slavery. My thoughts on it is this. My final thoughts is this. Until they figure out how to fix the problems of Americans, the high cost of living, the homeless problem, paying Black Americans their reparations, all that stuff. Until that is fixed, yeah, I mean, That's the first thing that needs to be done. But even if that was fixed, let's say they fixed that today, I don't agree with that group that I mentioned. Like, if we need scientists, if we need doctors, if we need, biologists, these type of things that are going to benefit more than someone that could just, clean a house or watch some rich people's children. Nah. Bringing those individuals in, hypothetically speaking, once our problems are fixed here for Americans, and then bring those individuals, because look at Japan. I think you could never be. In Japan, they don't give out citizenship by birth or even by marriage. Like, I don't know, well, maybe not by marriage, but maybe not by birth. I have to look into that. But you have to bring some like real skills that Japan needs for you to be even considered about getting some type of permanent residence there, right? They don't need people to clean houses and clean cut grass and stuff like that. They need some STEM professionals in Japan, and that's the ones they're allowing access to Japan. So with that being said, this is your brother Jay International tapping back in once again. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. I will holler at y'all later. Peace.